No, we didn't have to run. We had inspections every morning, and you had to get out there, and it's dark, and you have to just do everything right.
Okay. Do you remember some of the girls that you were with?
Not there so much.
Okay. All right. Now you said the branch of the Army that you went in was called WA.
WAAC,
Okay, and it was an auxiliary,
an auxiliary to the Army.
but you were paid the same as the Army boys.
Yep,
And that was,
$21 a month. And we had the same rules, the same regulations. Everything was the same as the boys, as the men.
but you didn't go through the physical training they went through.
No, we didn't have to learn to shoot guns or crawl under wires or anything like that.
Okay. And you decided to go into a certain area, and that was, you decided to be a cook.
Yep.
Did you get a choice in what you wanted to do?
No, not really. They mostly told you.
Okay. All right.
There wasn't a whole lot of choices. Anyway, you could be in the motor pool, and I forget all the other ones. Oh, you could work in the, do the shorthand and typing thing, work in the office.
I would have thought that's where you would have gone since you worked with records and.
No. Cooks and bakers was a pretty good deal.
And you went to cooking school, you said?
Well, you didn't learn a whole lot. I remember there was a girl there. She was she was just like one of us, only she was our teacher. And she was from down south. And we were all from up north. And she'd say, and now we'll talk about the menu. The menu, Well, we didn't hardly know what she's talking about.
You couldn't understand her.
No, not that South girl. And she had never seen snow. I forget where she was from.
Okay. So you stayed there in Des Moines for how long?
Well, I don't know,
Okay.
several months. And then we went on a troop train to Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia.
Okay. And from Georgia, how long did you stay in Georgia?
Well, I was in Georgia till they sent us overseas.
Okay.
But I don't know how long that was.
Okay. And what did your orders come to go overseas? Where did you go?
We went to England.
England. All right. And what were your duties over there?
Well, cooking.
Okay. And who did you cook for?
Over there, first we cooked for women and then we cooked for men.
Okay. The troops that were over there in England. Okay. Now, America, do you get letters from home from America?
Oh yeah, you get letters, and you can send letters too, and you don't have to pay.
Okay.
The stamps were free. They didn't. There was no stamps. They just marked them.
Okay. What was the feeling from back home about the war?
Well, they was going to win.
Okay.
Just was going to take a while.
Did they support their troops?
Oh yeah, everybody was buying bonds. My mom and dad had a lot of bonds.
Okay.
They took it out of the paychecks.
Okay. Now, we're in war with Japan at the time because Japan has bombed Pearl Harbor, but you're over here in England.
No, I'm in Ohio.
Okay, when they bombed Pearl
Yeah.
Harbor. Yes, you're in Ohio. Okay, but now that you're in England, do you get? Are you there when they start bombing England? When Hitler starts bombing England?
Oh yeah, they bombed London all the time, and we lived in Nissen huts. You know what a Nissen hut is?
Mm-mm.
Well, they got some along the highway down towards town. They're a round metal building that's like that. It's like
Okay.
it's cut in half, just like a half of a pop bottle. And it's round like that, and that's a Nissen hut. And that's what we lived in.
Okay.
And and uh, and at night you could go to the end of the building where the door was, and you could see them, you could hear the air raid sirens going, and you could see them airplanes way up there. They had to be way up there because we were a good ways from London, and them lights would just go up like that, and crisscross, and you could see them planes right in them lights.
Okay. Did they ever drop a bomb close to where you were?
No. But when the air raid sounded, we always had to jump up and go jump down in that
Bunker of a thing?
it was always a long trench. Who said that? We had to go and jump in the trench. That's right, we did.
Okay.
And it was as high as my head.
Okay. All right, now it's the Germans bombing. What did the people think about Hitler?
Well, he was the bad boy, so they didn't think too much of him.
Okay, how was he presented back here in America? How did the people think about him in America?
I don't know.
Okay. Did you know what he was doing to the Jews?
No.
You had no idea.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
How could I know? There was no way of knowing. I mean,
Okay. Did you have any clue of what he was doing to our American prisoners?
no. One of my son-in-laws, one of my brother-in-laws, was a prisoner of war for a year and a day, and he said when he come home, he was just a wee little guy. He'd lost a lot of weight, and he said they give him cabbage soup, and it'd be worms floating around in it.
Mm.
He didn't have much good to say about them.
Okay. So you're there cooking for the troops, cooking for some of the women, and where were you when war was declared to be over? V-Day.
Reims, France.
Okay, now you didn't tell me you went to France. Tell me when you went to France.
I don't know that.
Okay. How many months did you stay in France before war was over?
Oh, lots of them, but I don't know how many. It's on that paper, I
Okay.
guess, Mary.
Okay. We'll get it here in a minute. Did you like the people in France?
Yeah, they were nice, but they had a little book, and I had a little book, and that's how you talked. So you didn't talk much.
Okay. Are you still cooking for the troops now?
Yep.
Okay. So,
We figured 1,200,
okay, you cook for 1,200 men. Okay.
men and women.
Okay. When V-Day was declared, where were you?
Reims, France.
Okay. And what were your feelings on that day?
Oh, I don't know that. I remember seeing that building where the truce was settled, and it was a great big red brick building, and it took up a block. And then when you heard it on the TV, why they said they had signed a peace in a little red school building. You know, it made you think about a place. What's that place where Emmett and Flora lived, Mary?
Cold City.
Cold City. Did you ever see that little church house up in Cold City? You'd think it was a little place like that. That thing took up a city block.
So it was much bigger than it was portrayed to be.
Yep, yep.
Okay, now while you're in service, do you date any of the GIs?
Well, yeah, I dated John
Okay, where did you meet John?
in England.
Okay, you met in England. Did he go on to France too?
Yeah,
Okay,
but
When-
we met again in France.
okay. When you met your husband, do you remember the first time you saw him?
Yeah,
Okay, tell me about it.
well, we were cooking, and he come in, and he sat down over there on that bench, and he watched us. You know, American Girl was something that they didn't hardly ever see.
Okay.
And he watched all of us, and
How did he approach you for a first date?
oh my, I don't know that. No, I don't know.
So you don't know how you began your first date or your courtship? Okay. So you started dating John in England,
Yeah,
and you're transferred over to France, and you go over there and you meet up with him again. Do you correspond with him during this time? Writing letters?
no,
Okay.
I just know he's waiting.
Oh, did he tell you?
No, I don't want to get into all that.
Oh, okay.
Now, these kids don't know all that. I never did tell them.
Oh, you didn't tell him how you met?
Oh, yeah, they know we met in England.
Oh, okay. So,
We want details, Mother.
so you meet him in England, but you're going on to France, and he's there, and so you meet up with him again.
Yep.
Did you marry over there, or did you marry after you come back to the States?
We got married in Reims, France on July the 7th, 1945.
Okay. All right.
He was 27 and I was 26.
Okay. Did he tell you he was an Arkansas boy?
Yeah, I knew that. But I didn't know, I had no idea what Arkansas was like. I knew it was a state, and that's about all.
Okay. Did he go home with you?
I went home first. I went to Ohio. Well,
Okay.
because I had to.
Okay.
And he had to come to Arkansas.
Okay.
That was just the way that it was. You had to come back to where you left from.
Okay.
And he wanted to see his folks anyway, and then he come up there where I was. And I wanted him to stay up there and go to work in the steel mills. You know, they made good money.
Mm-hmm.
And the steel mills was right there, close to my folks, but he didn't want none of that. He wanted to come back here, so that's where we come. We didn't come together.
He
My-
came on to Arkansas
He
first.
come back here, and then my mom had surgery, and I had to stay up there for a while.
Okay. Can you remember your first time you saw Arkansas?
Oh yeah, that ain't hard to